What's good, YouTube? It's your boy T-Flame, T-Flame, outside can't get no more. And today, I want to go over all three competitive formats for Beyblade Metal Fight or Beyblade Metal Fusion. You know, the Metal Generation, Metal Fight Beyblade. This is for those who may not have done anything with MFB in a minute. They grew up with MFB, but trying to get back into it. For those, or even those who, you know, are newer Beyblade fans looking into MFB, or maybe MFB fans that want to know in and outs of the competitive, you know, Metal Fight Beyblade, like competitive scene. So we're going to break down the three competitive formats there is ran by the WBBO, and yeah, we're going to go over ban lists and things like that. And what I got to say is Metal Fight Beyblade, I think, you know, I think it's one of the more affordable Beyblade generations to get into. Beyblade Burst can get pretty freaking expensive. Metal Fight Bays tend to be pretty cheap on the used side. And not only that, Metal Fight Bays have these things called mid-fakes, which are, I have one right here, which are reproductions of the older Beyblades, because these have been out of production for over 10 years. And so basically these, you know, are reproductions, so they're not made by Takara Tomy. However, the quality is almost identical to the point where they are allowed in all of the competitive Beyblade Metal Fight formats, because competitive Beyblade Metal Fight formats, you know, are ran by fans, right? So essentially we can make our own rules, because like there's no Takara Tomy, they're not running competitive Metal Fight anymore, so it's up to, we can really make our own rules. And because, you know, mid fakes are pretty much indistinguishable, gotta clean the Beyblade tip for someone complains, but because the, you know, the mid fake Beyblades are indistinguishable from the originals, they are allowed in competitive play, which allows a lot of the allows Metal Fight to be a lot more accessible, because you can get pretty much new bays for a really low price. And there have been, you know, people who are nervous about safety and things like that, these fake Beyblades have been tested. They do not contain any like lead or anything like that, or like they're not dangerous, right? There have been multiple testings. But if you just want to stick to 100% authentic, which you're all well able to do, you can do that. There's a lot of used Metal Fight Beyblade listings, a lot of lots, people selling, you know, lots that maybe their kids grew up with and they don't play with Beyblades anymore. So you can get a lot of, you know, good stuff for pretty cheap and used, you know, people selling their old collections and things like that. So if you want to stay 100% legit, you can, but also I really don't think there's a problem with the mid fakes, right? So it's probably the most affordable gen to get into. It's actually, honestly, I would think probably even more affordable than Beyblade X. Beyblade X can get pretty freaking expensive. So and I think this is pretty much, we'll get into it, but that's just a quick little overview. Now let's get into the three main competitive formats of Beyblade Metal Fight. So we have three distinct formats. You have standard, 4D, and then limited, right? And so basically each of them are meant to limit the bays allowed, or, well, in standard's case, it's anything goes, you can use anything. But basically 4D and limited format were created to basically offset the power creep that Beyblade has over generations. So as you can see, the Beyblades, pretty much you could see a progression in the size of the Beyblades from what would be accepted in limited, what will be accepted in 4D, and what will be accepted in standard, right? As you can see, the Beyblades get quite a bit bigger, quite a bit thicker too. Just look at that side view, quite a bit thicker. And of course, you know, weight creep also, you know, as Beyblade went on, things got a lot heavier, right? So but going into the standard format is basically where anything is allowed. So you can really use any combo, except the one part that is banned from all competitive Beyblade is Metal Sharp. Is it because it's too good? No, it's because this Metal Sharp tip damages stadiums. And, you know, metal, you know, well, before we had reproduction stadiums, BB10s were pretty hard to get, and so this would ruin the stadiums, and just it ruins stadiums in general, right? And so with older Metal Fight stadiums, like authentic stadiums, those wear a lot easier than even these. This is a reproduction stadium. This has a lot more, you know, it's a lot more sturdy than the original Hasbro, or not Hasbro. Hasbro never releases, but it's a lot more sturdy than the original Takara Tomy stadium. But still, Metal Sharp is banned just because, you know, it's gonna put a dent in the stadium and it's gonna scratch it, and that's never fun. Okay, so anyway, let's get into the standard format. Now, even though the standard format has everything allowed, it is probably the least fun, least competitive, and it has the highest barrier to entry because the best combos in it are very expensive. So basically, in Metal Fight Beyblade, in the last season in 0G, what was introduced was the Synchrome system, which, you know, compared to the Beyblades that everybody knows, you can see the resemblances, you can see the face both, but the metal was on top and the plastic was on the bottom, right? Which is different than the normal Metal Fight system, right? This was the last system that was introduced in Beyblade Metal Fight, but this ultimately broke Beyblade Metal Fight competitively because, I mean, you could literally, the appeal of this was like, well, you had two modes. You had the mode where the Beyblade was like this, or you could flip it upside down and have the crystal up mode. This mode was actually never showcased in the anime. All the bays were like this, but this is also a mode that you could do, right? And I will say these shapes were pretty unique. Now, for most part, Beyblades were all symmetrical and even, but they started getting some less even, more interesting designs in 0G. But what really broke it was that you could take another 0G wheel and you can combine those and you could have this double metal monstrosity. So, you know, in Metal Fight Beyblade, you always have, like, you know, the clear wheel, or even, you know, just no clear wheel, right? But instead of that, just having two metal wheels just absolutely broke the metagame. And then not only that, you could throw a freaking metal face on it. But not only that, you could throw a metal face heavy on it. And then, so that really broke the metagame, right? And what also did not help was 0G did not perform well. So it was cut and canceled early. So a lot of Beyblades that were released were rarer, because they went out of production earlier. So a lot of the rare parts like Y-Bang, Genbul, I don't even have because they are really expensive and hard to get. So a lot of the best parts for this format are very expensive. And so, and you're gonna need those parts to be good. Yeah, so I do have Dragoon, Killerkin. This is Hasbro Killerkin because, about maybe a couple years ago, a lot of 0G stuff from Hasbro resurfaced on Amazon. I'm not sure if it's still on Amazon, but this was like, I think, 2022. And so as you can see, this is pretty round. And I have Dragoon, which is the only left spin metal wheel, which automatically makes it top tier. You have BD 145 from Hades, Kerbex, and RDF. There are variations of this combo, but it's always Dragoon on something. Killerkin, I think, is the easiest to get, but a lot of people use Y-Vang, Genbul, and things like that. Very expensive parts, very hard to get. But basically, this runs the metagame. Why? Because you have ultimate life after death, because RDF is the most broken tip in Metal Fight, because you have really good life after death, and even though it doesn't have the most stamina, because your left spin you can equalize, you're pretty freaking round. BD makes it damn near impossible to knock this combo out, and really the standard format is full of combos like this. I mean, you can make some interesting attack combos. Like, you could do some like look at how crazy this shape is. Like that, it's pretty wide. You could do some like crazy shapes. You can get a lot of attack types, but really it's ran by stuff like this. Like, look at this Orochi. Look at how smooth and circular that combo is, right? Metal, yeah. It's the standard format is pretty much the least fun format. I mean, it's stamina, pretty much spamina. Everyone's one stamina, and yeah, it's also very expensive to get in this format. And I'm not really going to be doing any battles or covering combos of the standard format in this video because it is the least interesting. And I mean, I don't play this format pretty much at all. I don't experiment in it because I don't think it's fun at all. Pretty much you get this and you win, but even then, it's like, there's not a lot of variety to it. Like, pretty much everyone runs the same combos, and it's pay to win, basically. You buy the expensive Beyblades, you win. So that's the standard format out of the way. Next up, we have the newest competitive format. We have the 4D format, which basically allows, you know, all these 4D metal wheels, right? So basically, it bans, here's where bans start to come into play. So pretty much, this entire combo is banned. You can't use double metal. You can use 0G combos in the 4D format, but they have to be like this. You have to use them with plastic. You can't use the double metal. You can't bring this monstrosity to the 4D format. So that knocks out a huge amount of, you know, problems with Beyblade Standard right there. And also, RDF is banned in the 4D format and the limited format. The two formats below this, before the standard, the two formats below standard ban RDF, so you can't use that. And now BD145 is allowed in the 4D format, right? You can use this, right? But one part that is banned is Elevator 230. This part is banned, which is basically taller BD145. That's banned, but BD145 has a special ban, right? It is limited to the point, it's limited partially in this format to where while you can use BD145, it is actually illegal. You cannot use BD145 on Diablo. Why? Diablo's the heaviest metal wheel that is allowed in this 4D format, and so using them together, essentially these together basically create this almost. So yeah, it's not healthy. So you can use BD145 and you can use Diablo, but you cannot use them together. Additionally, there's also one 4D metal wheel that is banned from this format, and that is Duo. Duo is, this wheel can actually, it's one of the only 4D wheels that can hang in the standard format, just because it is a perfect metal circle. Literally, it is a perfect metal circle, perfectly balanced. And yeah, so this thing is busted stamina wise, and it is banned from this format. So with that being said, you can use a lot in this format. So I mean, Duo being banned because of stamina reasons, the next best thing is Scythe, which essentially is also as round, except, I mean, has a little bit of plastic right here. But the unique thing about Scythe, which I liked a lot of the 4D wheels because they have a lot of interesting gimmicks. You can flip that Scythe blade, right? You can flip it, and then you have this nice little free spin. So basically, you run this on stamina setups. I have it on wide defense, but you could put this on like a bearing drive and have a good setup. A real popular combo is, you know, Flash. This is a great attack wheel. I'd say Flash is better than Diablo. Even though Diablo is heavier, Diablo has, I think, I don't know. I feel like Diablo mainly bullies opponents, but I think Flash can get a real quick wheel, real easy knockout, right? I feel like Diablo can drag a little bit and like lose stamina because it's so heavy. Anyway, so you have that. You have other things like El Drago Guardian. Let me get that out. Here we have El Drago Guardian SA165 Warren WD. I really like this combo. So really, I mean, there's quite a bit of combos you can use in this format. You can use things like, you can use Big Bang. I have Big Bang Virgo right here. Pretty much you can use anything, like I said, but you know, the parts that are banned, Duo, Diablo on BD145. You can use BD145. One of the BD combos I like a lot in this format, which I did a video on, so make sure to go check that out. In a video I did on Hell Kerbex, I don't know where I put my Hell Kerbex Facebook at. I do not know where I put this Facebook at, but anyway, we have Hell Kerbex BD145 CS. This combo is gonna be really good. In this format, it is great defense, great stamina, pretty much great all of the above. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to do a battle between, let's do Hades Kerbex. We're going to do Hades Kerbex CS versus Flash Metal Face. I do recommend Metal Faces on all your combos, but I mean, it's not a requirement, it just helps though. Specifically for like attack and stamina combos. Oh! Big hit, easy knockout by Flash. Another. Oh, big hit. Oh, big hit, but as you can see, Hades Kerbex, Hell Kerbex is able to hang on. even though Flash delivers some pretty freaking brutal big attacks, man, it's able to still hang on. Now we gotta do a tiebreaker. This is for all the marbles right here. This is for all the marbles. Oh! You know, some people would consider that a snipe shot, so we'll redo it. But anyway. Oh! Oh! Oh, Flash missed. Flash had Hades on the ropes. Oh, but it still knocks it out. Now that's really dope. Oh my god, I love Metal Fight battles. Another great combo in this format is Phantom Leon on Metal Flat. Basically, this is a tornado staller, which with Metal Flat, you lock onto the rail, you have enough stamina, you go around, wait till your opponent stops spinning, and then it starts going to the center and knocks it off balance. So, gonna do a couple of battles in this format just to show y'all off the format. Next up, I'm gonna do a little bit more of a stamina battle. We're gonna have Scythe Hades on I know I called this is Hades Kerbex. The energy ring here is called Hades from Fusion Hades, so if y'all don't get confused, this is called Hades Kerbex in America and then Hell Kerbex in Japan, just for like, that's why I'm switching the names. But this is called Hades. The energy ring is called Hades. So, and then this metal part is Scythe. So Scythe Hades, D125 EWD Eternal Light Defense. We're gonna throw this up against Eldrago Guardian, SA165 Warren WD. You know, a good life after death. I've done quite a few. I've shown off Warren WD quite a bit on this channel, which is like Warren defense, but a little bit wide. You get a good amount of aggression. And also a good amount of stamina in life after death. But anyway, something about SA165, you know, right here, you think you might want to run it like that because it looks better. But really, from what I'm coming to find out through testing and through, you know, just seeing other people's videos, it actually is better like this. You know, you may think like this you can scrape, but what it actually does is it helps you catch the rail if you get knocked out, and it actually adds a little bit of life after death too. We're only going to do one stamina match because stamina matches can get boring. So yeah, we're just going to do one. But even then, this Warren wide defense can get a little aggressive, so we'll see if I can get more of like an aggressive maybe knockout. Oh, as you can see, it's a little aggressive, but still holding on the stamina. I'm pretty sure Scythe is going to take this. Scythe, well, I don't know. It could go back and forth. Eldrago Guardian can outspin, but Eldrago Guardian's weakness is because the rubber's on the bottom and not the top compared to Medio Eldrago. Medio Eldrago, the rubber's on top, but because this rubber's on the bottom, if the rubber touches the stadium, it stops spinning pretty much because rubber increases friction, which is why SA165 or even BD145 kind of pairs well on it, because it can kind of stop, you know, the rubber from touching the side of the stadium. Now we're going down to it. Let's see who's going to have the better life after death. Like I said, I think Scythe might be able to get this. Yeah, I think Scythe is going to be able to get this, potentially. Yeah. And Scythe. So I mean, Metal Fight can have its stamina matches, but the attack in this game is also, you know, very much hype still. So we're gonna do an attack versus stamina match right here, just to show, you know, even though, you know, stamina matches happen, you can still do some attacks. So I have this Big Bang or Cosmic Virgo W105 R2F combo combining Galaxy Pegasus and Big Bang Pegasus. We're going to throw this up against wait, no, Eldrago Guardian's mainly good for defense. We're going to throw this up against Scythe, the combo that just won. Scythe D120 EWD. Oh, it missed a knockout. So with Metal Fight 2, something you got to get used to is there's a specific way to launch these things. You want to get a flower pattern. You can do this with rubber tips, and you get that nice little pattern joint. This is good for when you're going against stamina types. You want to be able to hit them in the middle instead of just circling around and missing. So I didn't do a good launch that time. Ooh. Even though I got like a little bit better launch, you know, sometimes you don't hit it in the right way, so, you know, attack types can struggle a little bit. But yeah, Big Bang's gonna lose this one. but I'm gonna try and do another better launch to get a knockout. Yeah, I'm gonna try and do a launch to get a better knockout. So. All right. Oh, it scraped itself. I think Big Bang, I need to have it. You need to kind of. All right. There you go. It kind of kicked it out. It kind of like hit this one so hard it spun itself out, but yeah. Oh, big hit. Yeah, okay. Yeah. This combo is one of the top tier combos. It's pretty busted, but throwing this thing back up against Hades Kerbex should be able to knock this guy out a little bit easier. Ooh, Hell Kerbex is still able to swing in there. I mean, able to stay in there pretty handedly. Okay. Now, I will say Flash is better than Big Bang, but you can still get some pretty good hits with Big Bang in this format. Big Bang, I think, is better for more like defense, because it's a little bit more round, but it has a decent upper shape. Yeah, okay, it lost again. Well, the upper shape is kind of like, it's hard to get an upper attack against, you know, BD 145. But let's just do one more. Oh yeah, that was a good launch. Oh, there we go. Got that nice little knockout right there. So the 4D format is dope. I think it's pretty balanced and there's a lot of variety to it, a lot of gimmicks. But let's move on to my favorite competitive Metal Fight format. That is none other than the one, the only, the format that I've done the most videos on this channel about, the limited format. Now, the limited format is probably the most restricting, but also, So the limited format is the most, why do I have crud on this old Drago? So the limited format is the most restrictive Beyblade format, but it's probably the most fun and the most competitive format. Now, even though this has a lot of bands, it has the most amount of competitive parts, because there's a lot of Beyblade competitive parts that either that aren't high in weight or whatever. And so this basically has the most even level playing field. And so what this format bans is everything that was banned in the previous format, of course. So RDF is banned. But in this format, the big key things that are banned are all these 4D wheels, Flash, Scythe, Big Bang. All of these are banned, with some exceptions. Hasbro, you know, did a version of 4D, which is a lot, you know, more hollowed and doesn't have the gimmicks. These are allowed. And so with actually another, with an exception, I'm just going to go over all the parts that are pretty much banned, generally, and then go into the exceptions. So, and obviously synchromes are banned. One of the exceptions to the Hasbro rule is Scythe. This is Hasbro's version of Scythe, which, even though this joint is hollowed, it's still really round and pretty broken. So this is actually still banned. So all the 4D wheels. Two other parts that are banned are where did I put? Okay, here it is. Basalt from Basaltarogium. We got Basalt and Hades Kerbex, the Hell Wheel. Even like without BD 145, like the wheel itself, like the metal part of Hades Kerbex, this is banned. Both of these metal wheels are pretty heavy. Hell in particular, as you can see, is pretty much really big. And so this is actually good for stamina, attack, and defense. It's good for all three. And Basalt is really round, really heavy. Both of these guys are banned. Another thing that are banned, another general set of parts that are banned, you know, Elevator 230 is banned, but also all of these disc tracks. So BD 145, SA 165, SP230, all of these disc tracks are banned because they add a lot of weight, and they're very uncompetitive in this format. It would turn this format into like a bunch of stamina matches if they were allowed, because there's a lot of weight, very round, you know. These parts are pretty overpowered, right? So even though, you know, a lot of these parts are banned, it does allow for the most freedom, because you can use really weird and out there combinations and still have some pretty, you know, I mean, there are like, you know, top tier combos, but there are also like a variety of combos. Like, I feel like this format has the most variety because you can really use a lot. Like here, okay, here we have a competitive combo. You have Leon, look, let me clean the rubber tip. Leon 100 R2F, but you could also do something like this: Cyber Orso C145 R2F. Okay, you know, I don't even care about the tips at this point. I use something like this, right? And granted, you know, the top tier combos are going to be the best, but really, you just have a lot of variety in this format, because there's a lot more parts that, there are more parts that are not banned than the parts that are banned. And so because of that, all the parts that are not banned are now more at an even playing field, because there's not a lot of, you know, like real heavy OP parts. There is one 40 metal wheel that is allowed, and that is Jade. You may think, with the metal balls, doesn't this guy have a lot of weight? No, this guy is actually one of the lightest 40 metal wheels. And what also doesn't help it is it has this big gap at the bottom, which really hurts it from being able to be used for stamina. It's mainly used for like defense purposes, but that gap hurts it a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot of it, which is why it's allowed in this format. Top tier combos in this format, of course, you got like attack types. You got something low like El Drago. You could go something a little bit taller like Pegasus R145 R2F. You have something like good all around. You got like Vulcan on I think this is 85 RF. I didn't show the I know I said Phantom Leon, and I didn't show off Tornado Stalling. I will show that off here. This is essentially the same combo, but for this format, you got Bakushin Leon. On Metal Flat, that's a Tornado Staller. I mean, you have good stamina types like Bakushin Leon, which is also good for that. Look at that slope action. Look at how big that slope is. That's great for stamina and Tornado Stalling, of course. But for other stamina combos, here's where Meteor Drago is king. You know, spin stealing. I have this thing on W2D. You could also use EWD on it. I do like W2D just a little bit more. And then, you know, that's a stamina combo. We have Burn Pegasus. You know, I feature this on the channel a lot. You do have some interesting combos. You have, you can either put this on El Drago or Pegasus. You have this CH120, which allows you to change height and be able to be good for all around. So, and then what? I mean, there's a bunch of combos I could show. I did a video on Final Survive. This is a very high skill part, but it's really like auto tornado stalling. But two of the main things that run the meta are, well, one, Gravity Perseus. This thing can spin to the left and to the right. You can use this. A lot of people use this guy on RF. I like this thing on W2D, which gives me, it's like a little bit more aggressive than WD, so you can get some aggression out of it, but also you have good life after death and stamina. I pretty much always use this in left spin, but I do recommend, if you're using this, use this guy in left spin. So dual spin, this guy's pretty much runs the meta. You can use attack, stamina. I like more stamina attack builds, like a little bit of a hybrid, but also, of course, at the top of the meta, you have this disgusting monstrosity, Flame 230, which is basically, Flame is a raised up metal wheel. You put that on 230, and that gives you even more elevation. And then Coach Sharp is one of the tallest tips in the game, but it gives it even more life after death because it's a plastic tip surrounded by rubber, which is like, as soon as it tilts, the rubber kind of helps it realign. And so, even though this combo is like really overpowered, it's not broken. It can be beaten. I've done videos on it. So, as you can see, like already, there's a lot of variety in these combos compared to the other two formats. There's a lot more viable parts. It's not just ran by a couple of things. I mean, in 4D, there are, you know, a lot more parts you can use, but not nearly as many that are as good in this format. So, let's run into some battles. first battle, we're going to do Flame 230, but I want to show off Tornado Stalling, which you have to launch this Beyblade right, but basically it's, you know, going around the ridge of the stadium, waiting for your opponent to lose stamina, and then coming to the middle. I didn't launch this that right. I didn't launch this right. I cannot talk. I am sorry. But, yeah, no, I did not launch these guys right. But it probably could have won there, but I wanted to show y'all a little bit more. No. I need to get the launch pattern down right. I'm sorry, it's been a minute since I've launched this correctly. You know what, let me switch out the CS tip to a little bit less aggressive one. So here we go. It should move less, and that should make it a little easier. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now, what this is gonna do, even though Flame 230 can appear to have good stamina, it really doesn't. And so metal tips are gonna have more stamina than any form of rubber, really, because you know metal reduces friction. And so what we should see here, hopefully, is Flame 230 get destabilized, and Leon should hopefully pick up the win. Let's take a look. Okay, here we go. Yep, I think Flame 230, once it starts making contact, it should get destabilized. Yep, let's see here. The contact's being made. Contact's being made. Wow. Flame 230 is just that freaking broken. Okay. Flame 230 is just that broken. Okay, let me try and launch that. That was a good launch right there. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Okay. I know, this is the most entertaining part, but we're getting this out the way. Because this is like using attack for stamina, which is kind of funny. Okay. Now hopefully. Okay. Come on, Leon. Come on, Leon. You can do it this time. Come on, Leon. Damn it, Leon. Okay, well, sometimes you'll win that way, okay? I can't do it, but sometimes you'll win that way, alright? Just because that irritated me, I have to now knock out Flame 230, which is why this is really good. R145, the rubber at the bottom helps it attack lower Beyblades, but also Pegasus has this really good upper shape that allows it to knock out taller Beys, like Flame 230, which it will definitely knock out, right? I said that it will yeah, we're starting to see why Flame 230 is a problem. Okay. We have the perfect pattern. We have the nice pattern. Oh my god. And Flame 230 wins again. Look. Okay. Gotta be able to knock this thing out. Okay, come on. Come on. That was a perfect hit. Okay, yeah. Flame 230. Okay, you know what? I gotta whip out my combo that I always use to beat Flame 230 because this is starting to get on my nerves. We've done a lot of video. I know this is talking about the overview of Metal Fight, but if y'all been on this channel, y'all know how much I don't like Flame 230. So we're gonna use El Drago on Metal Flat, CH120 Metal Flat. I'm gonna have that on 145 height. And we're gonna do, instead of tornado stalling, we want the smoke with this guy. We want the smoke with this guy. We want all of the smoke with this guy. We want to touch this guy. We want to knock him off balance. Yes. We want all of the smoke. Yeah, knock him off balance. Let him fall over. Uh-oh. It's starting to recover. Okay, but it's too off balance. There's no way it recovers from this. Come on, El Drago. We clap up Flame 230s for breakfast. Come on, come on, come on, El Drago. Damn! Okay, okay, okay. You know what? Rage level's increasing. Rage level's increasing. But you know what? It's fine. Because El Drago is going to knock him out right now. This is going to be our match. And I think my CH-120 went down to 120 height. Okay, wait. But we're knocking... Okay, okay. It's going, it's going, it's going. Wait, I'm not using my strong left spin launcher. Okay, wait. Flame 230 is pretty clapped. It's pretty freaking clapped right now. Come on. Don't let it recover. Don't let it recover. Don't let it recover. Don't let it recover. Yes. Wait, I think we can get this. I think we can get this. We're going to consider that a W, but I'm not satisfied until we knock this thing out the stadium. So I'm going to put this back on 145 height. And now we're going to try this again. Now, hopefully, you know. Come on. Come on, Pegasus. I mean, not Pegasus, El Drago. Dang it. I don't know if we just stabilized this guy enough. Uh-oh. Maybe... Oh no, we might be clapped. Okay, we're done. We're moving on to another combo. Okay, yeah, that was way too much time on Flame 230. Alright, let's do another attack versus stamina. We got Pegasus, R145, and versus Leon on, I think, what is this, 90, EWD, Eternal Wide Defense. I didn't get a good launch there. I did not get a good launch there. Damn, I'm sucking at this. Oh, wait, that was a bad launch. Okay. Yeah, I think, you know, Bakushin is able to kind of like stop attacks. It's able to disrupt the patterns really easily because of how good the slope shape is. Yeah. Let me try this joint. Try this joint up against Vulcan 85 RF. A little bit more on its level. Come on, buddy. Oh! Almost. Almost. Alright, let's try El Drago 90 LRF. Trying to prove stamina is not that broken. Trust me, it's not. My launch patterns, I've not... Oh my god. Okay. Okay, there we go. Man. EWD is just... Bakushin on EWD is just crazy. You know what? Forget this. We're gonna show spin stealing in action because this happens a lot in this format too. So come on, oh wait, come on, El Drago, don't scrape, Come on, El Drago, come on. Dang, even El Drago. Okay. So I know it kind of went off the rails there at the end, but I mean, I think at the end though, I showed you there's quite a bit of variety of combos in this limited format, which is why I like it so much. And I've also done a lot of videos on limited format, so just watch my previous videos. I specify what format I'm talking about in the video itself. So if you want to get a little bit more in the 4D or the limited format, make sure to check out my previous videos. If you have any other questions on the Beyblade formats, make sure to let me know. If there's any Metal Fight videos you'd want to see, let me know as well. But anyway, I just want to do an overview of all of the competitive Metal Fight formats, do some battles in the 2 of them that are worth doing battles in, because these battles suck. Okay, anyway, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.